Destin or 30A? Which is better? Watch this video to find out. Because in this video, I'm going to talk about both places and then you decide which one's better for you and your lifestyle. So first off, let's start with Destin. Destin is the more known area of the two. It has more beach and water activities to do than 30A will offer you. So that's what we're going to talk about first. Destin has the harbor, which allows you to go out on fishing charters, rent boats, rent jet skis. You can go on helicopter rides around the beach. It has Crab Island, which is probably a huge area that a lot of people that rent those jet skis and boats take out. I mean, it hosts, sometimes you see hundreds of boats out there, in the heat of summer at the height when everybody's here. Because not only do the tourists like Crab Island, but so do the locals. Everybody loves to take their boat out there. It's a great time. It is family friendly. They do offer restaurants and they do have inflatable parks that they actually blow up for kids to play at. So that is a great option if you're looking for something fun to do in the water, and it's really right off the shore. You could swim out there if you want to, but, I don't know if they'll let you because of all the pass through and traffic, but you can definitely take a kayak out there. You don't have to just rent a boat or own a boat to go to Crab Island. I've seen people kayak to Crab Island and anchor their kayak and then spend time out there and then kayak back. So you're definitely going to have more things to do in the water than you really would in 30A. 30A has a lot of cool stuff that we're going to get into later, but that is one thing I think Destin has over 30A is there's just more options available if you're looking to do stuff in the water. And the beaches are the same in 30A as they are in Destin. They're all beautiful, but there's just more things around those beaches. There's more options for dining. There's more options for shopping at Destin than you get in 30A. Number two is vibrant nightlife. I mean, Destin definitely has that. It has, some famous clubs like Club Bimini, which is above AJ's in Destin. It also has some other bars and clubs out there. So if you're someone who's maybe single or you're young, maybe you're not, but you still feel young at heart and you want to go out there and you want to go, go to a club or go to a bar late at night, Destin definitely has a lot of options for that and is geared more towards that. So definitely that's the kind of place maybe you should be looking at if you're thinking about, what to do at night. I think Destin definitely has some things for you to look into. Number three, shopping and dining. Destin definitely has more shopping and dining than 30A. Now, you're talking about Destin Commons and the Silver Sands Outlet Mall. Just those two options right there is over 100 stores for you to choose from, 100 different places that you can go shop at. You literally won't run out of options. Those are just two. There's tons of other little strip malls and shopping centers all throughout Destin that you can check out. It has a lot more name brand options too, bigger, more, franchise stores, where I think 30A is more, mom and pop boutique stores that we can get into a little bit later. But, that's just the shopping side of things. You're going to have tons of different options to choose from. The dining side too, you have tons. I think like basically feels like 90% of Destin is restaurants. I mean, there's just anything you can imagine. There's every fast food place you need. There's, tons of seafood. Destin is known for some of its best seafood in the area is in Destin, Florida. I mean, you can find places like Beauchamp's has great seafood. I mean, it has just exploded over the past years. It's a very great place to go check out. I mean, you have tons of different seafood options on the harbor as well. So definitely, if you're looking for good seafood, you're looking for, variety of choice and what you want to eat, and you also might be looking for a little bit more affordability, Destin is definitely going to be the place. But if you don't mind spending the extra money, you definitely get some, more farm to table options in 38. Number four, family friendly attractions. Destin definitely has, I think, more family friendly attractions options. I almost want to say that 38 might be more family friendly overall, but Destin had more things to do as a family. So, a number one thing I can think of great places to talk about is like Big Kahuna's Water Park and the track in Destin. Both places have tons of options for children. I mean, they have bumper cars, they have go karts, they have like water bumper cars, they have this arcade and at the track, definitely a lot of options, mini golf. And then, Big Kahuna's Water Park is exactly what it sounds like. It's a big water park. I mean, I might come as a shock. I think the name gave it away though. But, there's just tons of different options there, for slides, rides, all sorts of things. They're always adding new stuff. They're always developing and adding more things and changing stuff up. So those are two great places to look at. If you have a family and you're thinking about, what are things we could do? Well, there's just two right there you can make a day of. Each one is a day in itself. So definitely take a look at both of those. And then number five is real estate is just more affordable. Destin definitely has a lower end market, like 350, 400,000. That's probably what you're gonna be looking at to get a move-in ready, detached, single family home in Destin. And you're just not, you can't even get a shack in 38 for that price, to be honest with you. It is just so expensive out there. And we'll get more into the real estate stuff a little bit later, but definitely if you're trying, you want to live in the city of Destin, or you want to live in the city of 38 or the area of 38, my bad. you know, there's definitely a buy-in power, and Destin definitely has a more affordable buy-in power. 350 to $400,000 is going to get you something in Destin. It might not be the most up-to-date home. It might be a little bit outdated. You might have to put a little bit of TLC into it. That's why I said for a first-time home buyer, because you can definitely do a little more with that than you would get in 38. So it's a great place that if you want to get in, close to the beach, but you maybe are on a budget or you just don't have the ability to afford the luxury homes, Destin is definitely the place to take a look at. So those are five things I just told you about Destin. So now let's move on to 30A. So 30A is definitely a more laid back beach vibe. I think you get more of a surf style town, beachy area. There's small little pockets. 30A is not a city, it's an area for one. So we're talking about different, you're talking about Santa Rosa Beach, you're talking about down through 38, down Highway 98, going towards Panama City Beach. I mean, it's just little pockets. You got like Seaside, you got like Rosemary Beach, Grayton Beach, Santa Rosa Beach. These are all little areas that have kind of been developed individually around, and there's a little bit of gap in between, so you got to kind of drive to them. But when you get there and you're just out walking around, definitely more laid back beach vibe. I mean, a good example is you go down to Seaside, you can park. There's a little shopping area. You can park your car. It's like a little half circle. You can walk around these little stores in and out of them. And then, get some food, get a little drink. They have an amphitheater right there that they host events at. And then literally right across the street, you just walk right out onto the beach. It's pretty nice. You don't really, I can't think of, there's places in Destin definitely, but it just doesn't have that laid back vibe. When you go to Destin, it's traffic, it's hectic, 4.5 million people visiting, it's always packed. And except for in the winters, it's like the only time where Destin actually starts to kind of dial out, for a couple months. But I mean, all year round, people are coming into Destin. So in 30A, it's the same thing, but it's a little bit more spread out for sure. And it's just more laid back. You can park your car, get out, walk around, enjoy the area. Everyone's super nice. And I think they definitely have Destin beat for that. Number two, scenic trails. There's definitely more scenic trails. You can get out, walk, through the area. Talking about going between Seaside and Grayton Beach or Seaside, Santa Rosa Beach. There's just like a nice little bike path. You can get your bike out, ride down the bike path, enjoy the outdoors, look at them, ride past ride down parallel with the ocean, just kind of riding down a scenic highway and just enjoying the area. And you don't really get that from Destin. So if you're someone who likes to be outdoors and do outdoorsy things like exercise stuff like biking or running or even just walking long distances, you're going to get a lot more of a view with 38 than you would in Destin. 38's number three is local art and culture. 38 definitely has more of an individuality, free spirit kind of thing. So, great example would be the 38 Singer-Songwriter Festival. It's every year in 38, local bands join in on it, people from out of the area that travel join in on it. And some of these bands are actually pretty successful. They might not be Taylor Swift or Kendrick Lamar. They're pretty successful, and they tour around and they have a following, and they actually play some good music. And so a lot of these different restaurants in the area host these bands. Places like North Beach Social will host these bands, and you basically pay a ticket for the whole thing. And then these different places that partake in it that are hosting these bands, you can just go to them, watch the music, drink some beer, eat some good food, and then you can like go to another bar over here on the other across town or something, or somewhere else in 38. And you can go in there and watch another band play, and they have a whole schedule, and you kind of do like this bar run at the same time as you're getting to listen to all this live music. It's a really fun thing, and even my family partakes in it. It's a good time. The locals love it, tourists love it. So if that's something you're interested in, 30A has that for you. Number four with 30A is upscale dining and boutique shopping. So when we're talking about, upscale dining, we're talking about like fancier farm to tables type stuff like Farm and Fire or the Citizen. Those are two options right there that are more, upscale dining. They're going to be a little bit more expensive, but the food is a little more fresh. It's more well thought out. It's cared for more. And it definitely tastes good. I think you get your money's worth. And then boutique shopping. I mean, it's really just mom and pop, beach stores. Either I was just in Seaside not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, and like I said, I was out there just walking around one of the little shopping centers, the little pockets they have that are built around all these Airbnb vacation rental homes. And I'm just walking through, and there's just like a nice little store, surf style store, like Seaside, really nice little fancy store. You can get some, hoodies and jackets and shirts and cups and just little decorations for the house. I mean, they even had a hoodie for dogs, which is pretty cool. My wife loved that. So, we were just there, and then we'd walk out, and then we went over and got like a little drink at a bar. And then we went and checked out this little, beachside bookstore. It was a really tiny bookstore, had a lot of different options packed in there. People were super nice. And that's just kind of what you get, like these little shopping centers with these little boutique shops that are locally owned people running a business, and it's really nice. You feel like you're supporting the locals in the area and not just giving all your money to a big corporation. So that's a big win there. And then number five is going back to real estate, because we talked about Destin real estate, is that, 38 is more luxury real estate oriented. Even a simple small home in 38 is going to be way more expensive. I said earlier, like $350,000, $400,000 is not going to get you very far in 38. I mean, these are where large luxury beachfront mansions are at. I mean, Luke Bryan is a great example of someone that's famous that I think we all know. He just had a mansion that sold for like 15 million or something like that, but it was listed at 17 or 18. I mean, it was a very luxury beachfront mansion, and there's places like that all over 38. And even the areas that aren't mansions but are just homes are definitely more expensive. So you're gonna need a bigger buying power. So if you're someone looking for luxury, you're someone that's interested in luxury real estate, 30A is the place for you, 100%. So there you guys have it. Destin versus 30A, which is better? You decide.